At this place in history, we're at the Hope Cemetery in Barre with Executive Director of the Vermont Historical Society, Steve Perkins, and we're taking this one back exactly 100 years.
We are. You know, it's kind of a sad story, and I think about all of these gravestones behind us here. What I find amazing is that we look at all of them, they all have dates from late September to early October 1918. And I think maybe we all remember from our school books going back, they called it the Spanish flu or the Influenza Epidemic of 1918. So in Vermont in 1918, they had close to 2,000 people that died from this influenza outbreak. Right here in Barre, they had 175 people died within a 1-week period. They think that the mining or the quarrying, of granite, which gave silicosis of the lungs to a lot of these granite workers, contributed to the large cluster of deaths right here in Barre. We're going to go talk to a state epidemiologist to learn more about what it is, how it impacted our area, and then what we're doing today about the flu.
So to set the scene, what was going on in 1918 was World War I. So we had combatants on both sides that were heavily censoring the media, and neither side really wanted it to be known that there was illness amongst soldiers or amongst civilians that could definitely affect troop morale and give key important information to the enemy. So Spain in 1918 was a non-combatant, and the King of Spain came down with influenza. This event was heavily covered in the media at the time, and that's how it got the misnomer, the Spanish flu. There is some preliminary evidence that points to a little agricultural area called Haskell County, Kansas, that may have been where the flu virus started. We won't really ever know, but there's some evidence that points to that. Well, it's estimated about 675,000 Americans died, and then the numbers worldwide are much more massive, between 50 and 100 million deaths. At that time, there were no antivirals, there were no vaccines, they weren't really effective medications. Treatment really ran the gamut to what physicians thought might be helpful. I know some physicians prescribed bone broth. The mayor of Burlington actually prescribed alcohol. Individuals who had the flu could provide a note from their physician, and they could get carefully measured doses of alcohol. It didn't work. While normal flu seasons don't always have that severe impact, you know, hundreds of thousands of people get the flu every year, and many are hospitalized and many die from the flu every single year. So unfortunately, I think many people discount the severe impact that the flu can have every single year and don't take the preventative measures that they should.
So very shortly after the Spanish flu pandemic ended in the United States, World War I ended, and people just threw up their hands and they screamed and yelled, and they were so happy that this horrible war had ended that they quickly forgot what happened with the Spanish flu. But just this year, at the centennial of this pandemic, a monument was installed here at Barre to remember all those that died from the influenza epidemic of 1918 at this place in history.